there's a push towards a militaristic economy, there's whole sectors that are going to be abandoned basically in this push. And when you have one of your main allies that you're somewhat subordinate to, Donald Trump escalating demands in trade negotiations with the EU and pushing for 15 to 20% minimum tariff on all EU goods, people that are aware that this is not in their self-interest, are they pushing back against this imperial agenda?
Well, you have them, obviously. I mean, it depends also on the kind of sectors. You've got sectors that are more linked, to have more trade relations, for example, with China, and that would stand to lose much more if this trade war were to escalate, or if Europe were to follow basically the United States in this trade war. So you have these discussions, debates. Now, there's very much an overarching dimension to this as well, because obviously, even if as a company you would stand to benefit from better relations to China, at the same time, if there's a very strong push from the United States in order to sanction you, or you might have to give in. I know this Dutch company on chips, for example, so microchips, that was basically pushed into limiting its relations to its trade exchanges with China, bullied into that by the United States, because the United States are very powerful countries. And what I see is that the reaction from EU political authorities, who could play a part in this, who could say, no, we will not stand for this bullying on behalf of the United States, on behalf of United States companies. Because let's be clear, the United States, when they push for disconnecting EU companies from trade with China or trade with Chinese companies, they benefit double. Like there's the political, let's say, side of it, that the European Union sides with the US in what might be a new Cold War or might be a trade war against China. But there's also the economic fact that in this case, the companies will be weakened because they might have less exchanges, or they might be forced to turn towards US competitors. So basically, it's also economically a win for the US